Hello, I'm Michelle Cooper, and welcome to the crafty side of my studio. But first, I want to show you, I'll show you this project in just a minute, but it's in response to receiving some happy mail. I've covered up the addresses here so you can't see those, but look at the cool stamps that came on this. I received this lovely package from one of my watercolor students who heard me talking about vintage supplies that people use in their junk journals. I mean, just look at the cool stamps she put on here too. Anyway, so she said that she had a whole bunch of really old things, and they are from way back. Let's see if there's a date on this one. Look at that, 1948, December 1948. I mean, that's vintage for sure. Maybe even antique. So I have to read through this when I get to see the whole thing. That's one thing that came in there. Look at this. A folder. Cool. Souvenir folder. Maybe I'll have to make one of these. Look at how that's made. I wonder how old this is. Probably about the same vintage maybe, huh? Wow. Postcards from Minnesota. Hibbing, Minnesota. Wow. You can see the foxing that happens, these little red dots. That's from the acid in the paper, the pulp in the paper. They call that foxing. So that's why you have to use archival archival framing for your watercolors if you don't want that to happen to your watercolor paper. This is the largest open pit mine in the world in Hibbing, Minnesota. Souvenir photo. Wow. Postage was 1.5 cents. Oh, I don't know how you get a half-cent. Buffalo, Susquehanna Mine, Hibbing, Minnesota. Wow, what a cool folder that is. All right, and then what else? We got Smokey the Bear. I remember this from school. They taught us, remember, only you can prevent forest fires. That's an old one too, isn't it? Very cool. There's fire prevention rules. That's very appropriate for this summer, isn't it? And then a victory garden. My mom told me about those. Wow, look at that. And it even has a little fold out. May your joys keep growing each day. Wow, that is very cool. It feels thicker, but the paper still feels kind of fragile, like old. And oh, I got a wonderful artist trading card that she did. I watched her paint this in my class. Thank you, Charlotte. That's really awesome. I'll keep that for sure. And then look at this. This is really fragile. This is from the Fairhaven record of Friday, April 1st, 1932. Fairhaven student inherits millions. See, I haven't read this yet, but I'm very worried that I might not be able to because this is fragile. Oh no, stuck together somehow. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to use this in something for sure. It is very fragile, so I'll probably end up coating it with matte medium or something like that to keep it from breaking up further. But wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate these, Charlotte, and especially your artwork too. It's nice to have some real vintage stuff instead of me making things that look vintage. Thank you again. Okay, now I had to send her a thank you note, so I made one. So here's my little folder. It's made from old book pages, and I'll show you how to do that and a little mini tutorial in a little bit. Here's some jute twine to keep it together. And what I mean about like a folder for tabs, see, these little tabs like this can be journaled on, or you can put photos on, and then keep them in this little folder here. So every corner is designed to be a little bit different so that it complements everything in the rest of the design, but is fun to look at as well. And this is triple old book pages that I've used for the base of it. I made this stick pin, which you can see a little tutorial of that in another one of these projects that I did. Little thank you note, more scrapbooking paper there. This is muslin and some lace underneath here, stapled on. And again, like book pages. And then here's the back. The back has other collaging and has some cheesecloth underneath this beautiful butterfly. A lot of these images I got from Artie Mays on Etsy, and some stamping. There's a place where you can put a little journaling note, or else you could put a small photo there. Again, each corner has something different on it. This is wonderful too. Okay, I'll stick these back in again. I have to put them in carefully because they'll touch each other down here at the bottom. But I like having the little tags sticking out, little string sticking out there. Here's a leaf, paper clip. I even put a little stamp, a little tiny stamp on here, and then I stamped it like as if it were gone. It had gone through the post. So we take this off, and it's got an envelope, and in the envelope there's a little note to Charlotte, and my card, and I think I want to put a little ticket in here too, but not in this part. I'll put it in another part. Put that back together in a minute. Here's a little flip so that you can put things underneath here. Yeah, that's where I think I want to put a little ticket that looks like it's an old ticket. What do I got here? Yeah, this looks old, so I can stick this underneath here like that. See, and then that'll hold it good enough. Then I'll go back here, put this back on, make sure that it slips over the point of this. There we go. That's back in again. And then this is a little moo card of mine. This, I believe that maybe the vintage of this building that I painted in Anacortes, maybe it's about the same vintage as some of the materials that you sent me, Charlotte. Anyway, got that. Here's a teen little postcard with a sentiment on it. And beautiful flowers on the other side. Here's my handmade artist's trading card that I made in exchange for yours, for you sending me the beautiful one of the 2 eggs. Here are 2 strawberries from my garden, and there's a little note on the back for you as well. Let's see, there's also, I wanted to put a little reference to your birds, so we'll put that in here. Put the postcard back, put this in. Now what I like is this little see-through area here. I made it with tracing paper, and then because tracing paper is kind of thin, I put some paper folded over here and then sewed around and put a butterfly on so that you can see through. Now let's see what else. You see these little tags go in the front. So put that, whoops, bump that. Put these tags in the front here. Put this tag in the front here. Which way does it go? I think this one goes here. And this one goes here. That's right. There they go. Like that. And I want to thank you again, Charlotte, for the lovely souvenirs of the 1940s that you sent me. And I hope you'll enjoy playing with this and maybe putting some of your own memorabilia in there. I really do love that butterfly. Now it's time to wrap this all up and get it out into the mail. So I'll take some jute twine here and tie a bow and have this all nice and ready to go out in the mail for you. But wait, there's more. I have a fun little tutorial for you on how to make these tag folders out of book pages. So you'll need some used book pages, torn out of old books, some good strong glue stick, and protect your surface with some baking paper. Now we're going to glue together 2 full pages that will form the main base for our folder or little booklet. Make sure to get all the way around the edges here because we want those to be nice and stuck together. You can start out with maybe half or 3/4 of the page. Put the second page over the top. Smooth it out a little. It's better to smooth it out with a little coffee card or loyalty card, and then you don't get any oils from your hands onto the paper. And go back and find the place where you stopped gluing and continue connecting these 2 pages firmly together. Now these 3 pages that I have here are from an old thesaurus. They're really kind of smooth and silky feeling, but they're also a little more delicate or thinner than some other papers from used books that I have. Okay, so that takes care of the main shape of our little folder or booklet. I'll bring over here the 3rd page now, and I'm going to fold this to create the tab slots, I guess you could call them. So you just take the points of the 2 corners there and you match them pretty much in the middle. And we're checking for glue there. Yeah, and then we do the same on both ends to make the little tab pockets, which you will see in a moment. Now, once I've got this folded here, I'm going to see how it looks when it's turned over and placed upon the base page. Comes from the same book, so they match perfectly. Okay, now it's time to glue down these little corners. This paper is pretty delicate, so I'm taking a little more care to glue this. Pretty much you can just tack them down with stronger paper, but I'll just do all 4 little folds here. Make sure that they'll stay where I put them. So you don't have to be too careful about this gluing situation here because this side is going to be facing down onto the surface of the other part of your folder. Okay, so you can finish that off now. And then take your first 2 pages and fold them in half to make the booklet or folder. And then this is going to fit onto the first 2 pages. You can fold them individually if you like. And so this forms the outside for this project that I'm doing. So the little tab sections are going to be on the outside there, and then the inside leaves me some more decorating room where I can put decorative paper and maybe some pockets, plain paper. So here are 2 book pages glued together, and then this is 1 book page that's been folded in the way I showed you. That fits exactly right on here like this. And then I sew across here, over here, across here, and down here, all the way around. And what that does is it catches these 2 ends and these 2 ends and leaves me some pockets to be able to put in here like this. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then you can see how that works. Okay, so now this is sewn all the way around all four corners here. And then when you fold it in half, that's how you make your booklet or tag folder that I'm calling it. And then that way, see, you've got 4 little spots here. 1, 2, and then on the other side as well, 3, 4 on the outside, and then the whole inside you have you're able to decorate however you want to. I put invisible pockets here. Sometimes I put glued in pockets, or maybe even clipped in pockets over here. But I'm finding that this vintage paper is somewhat fragile, so what I'll do is I'll take some paper for the inside, just extra paper, decorative paper or plain paper, and then I'll glue it on. So this paper was glued on first, and then I sew around all these 4 sides like this, and it seems to reinforce it just a little bit more. You can, and then the outside still gives you these pockets, areas for you to put your tabs in, or your tags. And then I'll, collage something, various papers and everything to create a design in the inside here, upon which I can put my pockets and stuff my tags in. It just all depends on what my theme is. All right. Here's a pocket that I made inside on top of a decorative paper by Artie Mays. The raven is an ATC card, so it's 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches for an Alice in Wonderland kind of theme. You must make sure that your tags will fit into your pockets. So that's easy enough to do once you've got the base made. So that's my interpretation of Rachel and Gi Kerr's example of making a tag folder out of used book pages. When you're ready to embellish your finished base for your folder, don't forget to include a tactile experience like this bamboo or jute, some fabrics like lace and muslin, cheesecloth, and you can print on muslin. You can make your own pins, smooth and sparkly. And that just adds to the overall enjoyment of the whole experience. Thanks for joining me during this tutorial and flip through of one of my junk journal tag folders. See you next time.